Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Karen. Forgot to mention that. It's going to be one of those mornings. Today we're coloring in Santa's Christmas Grayscale Adult Coloring Book by Ruth Sanderson. And we're coloring in this picture here. We got the little puppy in the basket done, the sled. We did the door, the wreath, a little bit of the puppy in the last video. First video we did the brick and the garland, a little bit of the snow and the rocks down here along with the basket. So I'm really kind of hoping I can get through the rest of the page, but coloring in this book with pencils is kind of a, how do we call it, a long process. The paper's got kind of a tooth. I'm using Polychromos. I would suggest if you want to get through this page a lot faster that you would put a base color down since they're one-sided. Slip a piece of paper behind here and do like a quick little coat of ink or something. Water, I don't know if watercolor will work in here, but ink might. Gonna be kind of working on the door. I have to get these bows done too, so the bows are going to be kind of done the same way as the little puppy's bow. But we're going to leave this outside of the door, the little, yeah, the top up here. I'm not sure. I know it has a name. It's not coming to me right now. And the window box frame here, not the, yep. Everything's not coming to me today. Anyway, the box in here. This piece that folds over is going to be done in black, along with the mailbox and this light. And we have the bushes to do. We have the threshold to do. A lot of you left comments telling me that is what that is called. And of course the columns that go up to the top up there. And I might want to do something inside between the rocks. You cute puppy. Anyway, so we're going to go in with some grays. That's a green. We do not want to go in with greens. So there we go. This is the cold grays, right? Cold grays 1, 2, 4, and black. And we're going to go in and darken the darkest areas and leave the lighter areas light, and we'll go over them in a white. Whether it'll be a Prisma or a Poly, I'm not sure. But I want to leave this area white out here and that window. We also have a tree in here, so this may be a part 4. I want to go in with a number 4 and get the shadows marked out because this is kind of blurry, and I already went around and traced these lines out so I can see them. And then of course there's a line that comes up here. We're just going to darken that up a little bit so we can see it also. And then it comes up towards the top. The lighter areas I want to leave alone, but I want to make sure I can see all these little nooks and crannies here. Because it's kind of important to get those right. That's snow, so we don't want to mess with it, but at least the building I can. And then like on the inside, we have to kind of define the architecture here. So I know where everything goes. And just by darkening the darker spots, it'll still look a little white. Because we're going to lighten the lighter spots. Just want to get the shadows in there. So how are you all doing? We're going to have a week of windstorms. Fun, fun. Be staying inside. Nothing new there. Gotten the gardens all winterized, so don't need to go out unless I'm feeding the hummingbirds. Okay, then we're going to come down here, and this door frame in here is going to be darker than the columns, so we'll make sure we get a nice shadow going there. Just pushing some pressure down on that. Okay, down here we have a little bit of a line here, so we want to make sure that's there. Coming down here, this is a little piece of wood that pops out, and so is that, so we want to make sure that they do. Now, on my house, we have the green door, we have the white trim. This is also white, but you can do this a different color if you want to do that kind of a bluish tone or bring down some of the red in there. I'm just going to leave it the gray tone here. It's just going to be easier for me. Okay, and the same thing on this side. I want to lighten up this area, or darken up this area, lighten up the outside. Want to be careful here because the door is open, so you don't want to make it too dark because the light will be coming out from the inside of the door. It's only open a little bit, but it's still open. So that puppy won't be sitting out there for very long in the cold. Shade underneath the ribbon that comes out. And you could shade underneath all those branches, but we'll do that a little later. I'll go across the top up here. Okay, back up here. Just going to darken that a little more. Okay, these little square thingy bobbers up here, I believe it's called a dental plate up here that looks like little teeth. We're going to darken that with black. I'm going to make sure that those stand out. I have a very sharp point on this black pencil. Just make sure some of that is nice and dark under there too. Gonna darken that line that comes down here too. The darker you get those shadows, the whiter the white looks. If I hadn't said that already, and if I did, I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself. Okay. And the window area here. I want to make sure that we get that shaded in. Now the window is going to be recessed in a little bit because it's not going to be just flush here. It's going to have a sill, or I don't know what you call that. I'm going to have to turn the book around now. So where it's round, it will be inset a little tiny bit. So we want to make sure we go around the round and kind of make it look round, because I'm not great at tracing lines. And keep that the darkest spot. And then lighten it as we come out. I don't know if you can even see this. I'm going to drop everything over there. There we go. Okay. Now it's going to have like a secondary piece that comes around here. So we have this little light piece, and then we want to go around again. Try to keep that even with the first one. Yeah, I'm going to try. Okay. We want to keep that portion lighter and a little darker out here, just a little bit. As long as you do this light, you can adjust your depth here if you made it crooked like I did. Make sure it goes all the way down, because you'd actually see it through the little boughs that are here anyway. Okay. Then we're going to bring in the gray. Just go around that again. Okay, now the inside window parts, we're going to have to do that with the outline of the black also, but I'm only going to outline one side. So go under this one. I should really be closer for this. It's really hard for me to see these things. Okay, and if we're going to go under, we're going to go under these. It's supposed to be arched. Maybe I'll do both sides so I can see what I'm doing here. Yeah, looks kind of like a spider web, but I'm going to darken underneath this lip on all of those. Any parts that you think you went over the line, just erase out. I don't know exactly. I'm going to pause this for just a second. Okay, sorry about that, but I had to get a little closer so I could get those little swooshies right. So I just kind of went up and then brought this up at an angle and then kind of brought this straight down. So I tried to keep these two looking right and angling those. It's a little hard to find on the grayscale how that's supposed to look, so I'm just going to kind of bring that line straight up on this side, just for shadow. Take in the gray. This is the number 2, cold gray number 2. And we're just going to bring that up a little bit. Okay, we're going to color in here on this side and on this side. Then bring that gray down a little. Okay, we're going to have to darken this side just the same. I want to make that a little smaller here. And we'll do the teeth the same. So we will be bringing in, I think I'm going to have to do it with a Posca. The white in here. Okay, I'll make sure it's coming out here and in here. And then we'll bring some of it up in there. Okay, so I'll do this other side just like this side over here. Put a little bit of that white in here, kind of tap it down with your finger. If you have a line that you didn't like, just go back over it and straighten it out with the gray. We have snow up here and snow here, so I'm trying to avoid those areas. Okay, and you can knock back that white if you don't like it that bright with a little bit of that gray just going over it. You can use the lighter one if you want. We're also going to put some light in behind here, so lights on, because the light's on in here. All right. I'm going to leave that for a little bit because I need to. Okay, what I'm going to do is bring you down, and we're going to get really close to these two items here, and we're going to do those. And we'll leave that alone. I got to think about that one, so hold on. Okay, we're going to do the light here. And what we're going to do is darken, or lighten, sorry. Some of these areas here so we know what they are. Okay, then the mailbox. Then we have a package here, that is the ribbon, a bow. We have a package here, looks like to be a square going up that way, and a ribbon and bow. And of course our letters. And this is like a little bag Oh boy, that's going to be fun. All right. Well, what do we got here? Brown ochre. We're going to color the little bag. Like a burlap bag. And a little Posca here for the rim. There. It's hard to see. Let that dry. I know it looks kind of silly as we are, but we're going to let it dry. I'm going to take some black, heavy pressure, make our mailbox black here, and on the inside, don't know. How far that package goes over. I think it goes to here. I don't know. We're just going to color the inside to there. It's sitting on top of something. So something like that. And we'll darken this side here. Want the numbers to be seen, so we'll go dark around them. I'm going to guess that's like a latch. It should be up there too. And we'll bring in a little gray there. Number 4. Number 2. Kind of give it a blend with your finger. Okay, we need a shadow underneath that box, so we're going to bring back in the black and just kind of get a shadow here. Yeah, one over the edge. Okay, back to the shading. Okay, then we'll take a little bit of the Posca here. Kind of try to draw a straight line. Blend it out with your finger. Straighten it out with a pencil if you don't like how crooked it is. Okay. Try to make yours a little straighter than mine. You can scratch that off with the pencil too if you don't really like it, which I probably will do, and straighten that out. Anyway, we're going to darken these little edges just right up the top, but I want to still see them because they're brighter. Go back in with the brown, and we're going to use a burnt sienna here. Darken up this area of the bag. Okay. I'm gonna bring in a red. This is middle carmine or cadmium red. And we're just gonna stripe our candy canes here. Okay. Kind of looks like candy canes. We have a package. We're going to do it in blue. We're going to bring some of the blue up from the puppy. So we'll color this one in blue. I'll bring in a little white. No, we can bring in the lightest gray. So this is the cold gray one. Blend that together with that. We're also going to use that to color in the male down here. Couple of letters. I'm going to darken it with a little bit of the darker gray. We're going to make that ribbon. Oh boy. How about a gray? We can do that gray or silver. Just kind of go around it. We'll add little highlights to it with the Posca. Coming down here. And of course little bits of the bow. We just want it to resemble a bow. It's hard for details here. And that is a ribbon coming down on this package. Okay. The package can be green. This is the same green that we used over here. Oh no, it's a different green I grabbed. Okay. This is chrome oxide green. Okay. We'll add a little, do I have a green gold out here? Should. Green gold. Just kind of run it around in there. So we'll have a gold bow there, and then we will put in a light gray. So this is the gray, cold gray 2. And run it around in there. And we'll have a kind of a silver bow. Candy canes and mail. We have to darken the mail so you can actually see it. So bring in some dark gray. That's a stamp. Darken that. You'll have a mail paste back there. Just kind of give the illusion of separate mail pieces. Okay, lamp. It's going to glow, so some of these little pieces are going to have a little glow mark on them. So we're going to put the green gold in here. It's also going to glow over here, so we're going to throw some of that in over on the greenery. A little up here on the white trim. Just so it's there. And of course it's going to be in the bow. So we're going to throw some of that on the bow, avoiding this part that's snow. Okay. Kind of glows this whole section. Just going to bring some down in here because it'll light up the mailbox and all the cards that are in there. Okay. Now we're going to bring in the black. We're going to define these areas a little more. I want to make that side darkest. Okay. Okay, there you go. It looks black. You can tell it's a light. And then we have a little glow going around it. I want to add a little bit of a lighter color into our glow, which is going to be a yellow ochre. Here we go. And then the brightest color I can get in there is going to be the Naples yellow. Just going to put it inside. Just a tiny bit out here. And then it's going to be an interesting spot. Go around these again, the black, and in here you can do one of two things. You can put a candle flame in here, make it really Victorian type, or you can put a light bulb. You can put a light bulb that looks like a candle. But something in there is making the light. So you have to put some. And since you want it to be the brightest spot, I'm going to take a bit of eraser and erase out the middle of the light bulb. Or the flame, whichever one you want it to be. I'm trying to make a light bulb. Okay. So we're going to just lighten that up. Put in some shines there. And there we go. Okay, those bows, we're going to do them in the same color we did this bow over here, so magenta. Well, I got to figure out where the bow is. I did go around it in white, but make that a bow. That one. Okay, and then we'll darken up the center of that. Throw a little Indian red in here. Gotta keep it kind of bright. Too dark. And what else did we grab? Dark red. Then we'll bring in the Posca. Try to highlight some of these areas. These are so tiny. I'll go back over that with the, I don't like how that one when it worked. But we're going to go in and lighten those up or darken those up so they don't look so white. And I'm going to have to go in with black because I just can't get that right. There we go, a bow. And we're just going to do the other one the same. And I'm going to go down here and work on this little bush. I have two dark greens. The garland over here was done in the pine green, and I brought out the chrome oxide green. And this is going to be like a pine bush, so it's like line and then squiggle little pine branches. Okay, that's all I'm going to do in here. You can go forward or you can go backwards, but you're going to make it a little pine area. To break it up, we'll add in a different color. This is very similar to the color that you're looking at, but it's just a different tone. We want the snow on top. So we're going to work around it, and you can throw in some of the green gold and do the same thing in the lighter areas. And then come in over on top of it and put a darker branch. And it gives it a nice variation when you're doing it that way. Some of the spots of the bush aren't so pastrine, but perfect. You can have a little bit of darkness in there. You could, if you want, just color it in straight with the dark color or a lighter color. But I'm going to do it in the pine look. This is going to take some time, so I'm going to finish both of these bushes off camera. You can make these bigger branches. You don't have to make them so tiny. but up here it's kind of hard. So I'll do both of those bushes, and then I'll come back because we have to finish off the top up here and this window and do the shutter. I finally got it. So I'll be back in a little bit. Okay guys, we finished both of the bushes, this one and this one over here. I didn't know if you knew that one was there because I was down so low and you didn't see it. I'm going to get these eraser pieces out. I kind of blended it with my finger and then had to use my eraser to get the white back to white. So if you're wondering why the white looks a little green, well, that's the reason. So we're going to go ahead and work on this shutter here. I also used my finger to blend up here. We're going to put that same yellow in this window up in this area. So it's the same colors, and we're just going to go in the white, kind of go over the gray a little bit. And we're starting off with the Naples yellow. Because that light is going to bring some of that color over this area too. So it's okay to get that there, and then over on this side we want to be a little more careful and just go on the inside of the areas. And I still have eraser bits there. We're also going to take this down this area here where the door is. Try not to touch the red to get orange. But we have a light coming through that door and I want it to come out the door. So since I have that color here, we might as well just do that color, right? It's be the same color that was coming out up here. Then we'll bring in some yellow ochre. Just to make sure we have a couple of these colors in here, the same colors we used on the light on this side. We're going to add it on top of the gray over here. Down here on the door, you can see the door, right? I'm hoping. Okay. I think I got that good enough. Can you even see at the top? Oh, I'm having one of these days. I'm really sorry. Put a little darker over on this side here just because I think that needs to be a little darker. Okay. I think those are the only colors I used. And I'm going to work on that, try to lighten these dark lines up a little with the Posca. And then I'm going to also put in a like a glass mark here. So we'll be putting that in. A little shine in that glass. Or something like that. That may even work. But we're going to work on this little guy here. And we're going to do it in black. So we're going to bring the black up, try to stay out of those little areas, and over. Kind of do it light at first just because I don't know how black I want it. We have snow up here, so we gotta kind of avoid that. And then it goes across. And the same with the plats. We're going to follow and just do the dark on the bottom of these and leave the tops light. So just following the book on that. I'm going to turn it straight lines and all, you know. Like I said, I'm doing this in black. You can do it in any color that you like. When I was looking up the brick houses and stuff, they had lots of different colors. Okay, I know that this has to be darker. I'm going to go over it again. I am going to try to leave a white line that goes up here. Just like the white line on this side. And see, when I do this with the grayscale, I don't know where the crossbar goes anymore. And the nice thing is, there's another of these pictures back here that I can go back and look at and see where it is. So it's this blob here that goes across. Yeah, you can look at it, but then you don't know either. Trying to get it right. It's the light one. Okay, so we're just going to darken this one so I know where I'm at. And this is another one of these little guys. All right. So more pressure on this, and we're just going to go up the side and make it as black as we can. Get a little bit on here, so just give that an erase, especially if you can see it a little better than I can. Okay, snow comes this way. I think you can see the thing coming down this way, so I'm going to put a little black in there. And I assume it comes down to this part of the window, so we're going to make this in here dark black also. Okay. something like that. All right. Okay, the top of this shutter here has got snow on it along with the window, so I'm going to have to kind of fudge out some snow there. Darken underneath it. Okay, then when we're doing these little guys, I'm just going to make it easy on myself. I'm going to go from one side to the other. And then I'll bring a white pencil in and lighten it up a little bit. But trying to make these lines, I'm remembering the brick. And I want to get that blended in over here too, so I hope I'm going straight. They look straight. Okay. And then this board is going to be a little thicker here at the top. Do the same thing down here at the bottom. Yeah, it's snow on there. Okay, then we'll bring in the number 4 cool gray and just go on top of that line. Bring it up a little bit. Okay. I'm just going to bring it out over here a little. And up on that side. Try my darndest not to get on that snow. And we'll bring it in a little on this side too. Okay. Then we're going to bring in the number 2. Do the same thing. Okay, now I'm going to use my finger and we're just going to smear it in between the two. Just like that. And get that off my finger. And if you want to come back in here, you can take the black and define your lines again. Might need to sharpen it. Okay. So we're just gonna define those lines up. Trying to make them a little crisper here. I think that's pretty good. We can bring in a blender stick and get that a little smoother. But you get the hint, we're just going to bring the black back in there and get in a nice black little effect. We're going to bring the gray down the window. Okay, that's our inset area. And our little sash there. And then we have snow up here too. And bring that over a little. Okay, tree on the inside of the house. We're going to do the yellow glow here around the outside of it. So the same colors. This is the Naples yellow. Same as we put out here. In the darker areas, we're going to be using the yellow ochre. Just around the tree a little more. Okay. Yep. I'm not sure. It's not really snowing here, so I'm assuming that these are like little lights. So we're going to do the same thing. Little round ones. We're going to pretend they're lights, at least some of them, because those are snow up there. Put one there and there, and just make them glow a little bit, so darker underneath them. Light on the top. So we'll have lights there, and maybe we'll put a few lights up in here. I might have to do that with the Posca though, just because I don't think I can add it in. Maybe I can with the eraser. Let's see if we take a spot right there. And then we add the light orange in there and a little of the dark. We could get some lights going that way, so just pick a spot and erase a spot and stick a light in. Oh, that'll look kind of cute. So I will do that all the way around. You don't need to really see that. It's just pick a spot, lighten it up as much as you can, and then just color it in. Do want to put a little darkness under the bottom just to brighten them up, but I'll go around and do that with that too. That's kind of cute. Okay, I think that looks okay for black. Oh, we're going to have to put some light over here too. So I'm going to lighten some areas over here. Put the yellow in, but I'm also going to let this door color come out on to this side of the wreath so we can color that just a little brighter on this side. And we'll just add some dark tones to the ones that are supposed to look like lights, if I can remember where I put them. But yeah, we'll do that too. The tree is just going to be done like the bushes. The 2 tones of green, you can find them. So it's the oxide and the pine. And yeah, it's tiny, so, and these are going to be lights. Just kind of take it from like one here and pull down your line and make your tree. Because your tree is going to be coming out from the center, which is like over here. And your branches, I don't think it's going to have any snow on it on the inside unless it's a flock tree. So we'll put a branch down here. Then go to another color, do the same thing. Okay, and then we have like Christmas ornaments on here along with lights, so we'll do some of these in yellow. And those will be our lights shining. I'll do some in red. Okay, Christmas hanging ball. Wherever you feel like putting them. You can put some in blue. Just use the colors that we already used on the picture and you'll bring them all into the tree. My tree isn't usually so festive, but it makes it fun. And I'm just gonna like smear that up so the green blends in. Okay, on the windowsill we're gonna have to, kind of sharpen this point or this side. So I know where it's at. There we go. Add a little more greenery just in here. Ooh. Okay, I'll just be doing touch-ups around here with the Posca, adding in, say, little white lines if I want that brought out on anything. We're also going to add snow with this, like on the roofs. So what I'm going to do is tilt this a little bit. So if we want some snow here, we'll just pile it up. Bring it down. Just so it makes it as white as possible. Then you can come back in with that. I'll do some up here too. You can also do this with acrylic paint if you like. That's what's in these. Make sure this has got enough ink in it to do this, or paint. So bring it down and then just fill it in. Fill it in any way you want because it's going to be falling down. The snow falls down and then it, kind of melts over the edge. So you kind of want it looking like it's going to melt over the edge. And then depending on how cold you want it, you can also hang down like a little icicle. Have them falling down too. So yeah, play around with it. Enjoy what you're doing and have some fun with the snow part. There's stuff you can use like stickles. You can throw some stickles in here and get it nice and shiny, sparkly. You can use actual stuff that's called snow. It's like a glitter glue that's like kind of puffy. And that's always fun to use too. It's all up to you what you want to use. How much extra you want to put into your picture. So like here, we'd want to give this a little more shadow. So I'm just going to bring in the number 2 cold gray and just bring in some shadows on there. It's just like the snow we did down on the bottom of the page. You want to put in a little bit of shadowing. This is the number 4. But it just brings it out a little bit. So just like that. So we'll be putting the snow all over. Back into the bushes down here. Just follow the snow pattern you had. Maybe add a little extra in there. Add some more snow up here. Maybe there's some snow down in here somewhere. Maybe some on the sled or the skis itself. Okay, maybe we'll put a little bit on the puppy's basket. And you can highlight these down here if you want to put a little extra white in them. Okay. You can put some up here on the garland if you want. Maybe a little snow fell down over here. Some snow could be down in here too, around the lights. Just play with it and have fun. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put some up here in the mailbox too. And up here on the light, we had snow. Anyway, you can see where I'm going with it. So I will take a picture at the end when I'm done, and we are finished. I think I'm going to leave it. Maybe put a little bit of snow down on these little rocks too. Brighten up some of these spots. So I will put a finished picture at the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye now. Take care, everyone.